All right, so these are black raspberries now, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's going on here?
Okay, so you can tell the black raspberries, they're very distinctive because they have this white kind of bloom on the canes.
Mm-hmm.
So they tend to be a little, kind of as they get older, they're a little bit more purpley brown, but they always have this kind of waxy bloom on the canes.
So that's not a disease.
Not
that's
a disease.
Just how
that's
they
their
grow.
typical thing.
Yeah.
If you find them in the woods, out in the wild, that's how they're going to look also. That's how you can distinguish them. And some of them turn a little bit more purple than others. So these are also, there are both primocane and floricane fruiting black raspberries, but there are very few primocane fruiting ones. They're mostly floricane fruiting, which is what we have here. So again, we have this big kind of bundle of canes here. And let's see, those ones that are more waxy here, these are actually the primocanes. This is a very vigorous plant, so they've grown way up in the air. Our floricanes are right here. And black raspberries have an even earlier season than the floricane fruiting red raspberries, so these are a little bit farther along in their dying off process. But these are the floricanes that have already fruited. You can see where the fruit is. And these were kind of tied in a bundle, and these will get cut out, and then we kind of train our primocanes into a bundle here again. The difference with black raspberries is we'll actually come through and tip the primocanes as they grow during the season. That causes them to branch, which is what we have here and here and here. And that increases our yield a lot. If we don't tip them, the primocanes just get super long. Like, you know, that might have even been one that just got missed because we get busy harvesting. And then they'll have fruit, you know, up and down the length of that cane, but they won't have it. They won't have all these branches, which will also be producing fruit. So that increases yield. And what a grower would typically do is come down with kind of like a sickle bar that would hedge these plants off, and just kind of keep the field manageable for one thing, so that you can come through here with a harvester or a mower, but also just makes it so you can move down the field, and helps with that kind of tipping process as well.
And so for you guys, you're actually coming in and pinching out the tips then? Or?
Yeah, we just come through with some pruners, and because again we have all these different seasons and the primocanes are growing at different times, so we come through a few times throughout the spring and early summer and do that tipping.
So how many nodes are you taking at that time?
I would say we try and catch them when we're taking off maybe the top foot or so. So let's see. So this one was tipped right about here, so we're probably letting them grow somewhere between the top wire and the middle wire, and then just tipping off the very top of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So pretty much once it gets to the top wire is when you would first
or
first
a little
do
bit before, like, you know, you'd probably catch some that are closer to this middle wire and maybe tip them just below. Kind of depends on what else is happening in the field and when you have time to get to it. But
yeah, seems like they can get pretty dense pretty quick.
Yeah, and at some point, if it's gotten really tall, then it's going to stress that cane out to take it way back here, so you wouldn't want to do it. And you're just, you know, you're not going to catch all of them, but the more you can catch at that height and get that branching at a good location. These again are pretty much all machine picked in Oregon because they're very time consuming and very thorny to hand pick. Nobody really wants to hand pick them. So you get canes that are as tall as some of these, and they're gonna go underneath the machine, but they're just kind of gonna get knocked off, and it's not where you want the fruit. You want the fruit more to be in this range of sort of trellis height.